In 2018, I moved out of San Jose. I went south to Gilroy. And at the time, almost nobody I knew was making that move. People thought I was crazy. I'd grown up in Almaden Valley. My whole life was in San Jose. And I drove past the Morgan Hill exit on the way home every single day, wondering who actually lived down there. 8 years later, I'm watching a lot of my old neighbors make a version of the same move. Most of them are landing in Morgan Hill. And the reasons they're giving me are not what you'd expect. Today, I'm talking you through 4 real reasons my clients are leaving San Jose for Morgan Hill and answering the questions I get about this move almost every week. Here's what I keep getting asked. Is Morgan Hill actually more affordable, or is it San Jose with a different zip code? Are the houses newer, or am I just trading one old fixer for another? Is a commute a deal breaker? Is there actually anything to do? I'm going to answer all 4 of these, so stick around for reason number 3. That's the one that surprises people the most. Reason number 1. The price gap is bigger than most people realize. Here's what San Jose looks like right now. The median sales price for a single family home in San Jose is in the mid $1 million range, just above 1.7, depending on the part of the city. Anything that shows well in a decent area is still getting multiple offers and moving fast. Morgan Hill's median sale price typically comes in lower than San Jose. We're talking a gap of a few $100,000 on a similar type of home. Same bedroom count, similar square footage, different price. But the price gap is only half the story. The buying experience is completely different. In San Jose right now, you're used to writing offers over asking price. You're tightening contingencies if you even have any. You're crossing your fingers and hoping you even get a counter. In Morgan Hill, buyers are still getting some of the normal contingencies in many cases. There's more back and forth. There's more room to actually negotiate. Same buyer, same budget, 2 completely different experiences. Here's what that means in real terms. If you sell a 3-bedroom home in Cambrian or Willow Glen for about $2 million and you buy a home in Morgan Hill for about 1.6, you've just freed up $400,000. That's not a small number. That's college savings. That's paying off debt. That's investing for your retirement. That's actual breathing room in your monthly budget. So when people ask me if the move south is worth it financially, for a lot of San Jose homeowners, the answer is yes, as long as you use the price gap strategically. Okay, reason number 2, the housing stock is newer. Most of San Jose's housing inventory was built between 1950 and 1970. Ranch homes, 5,000 to 6,000 square foot lots, original layouts, often original windows, older roofs, and older plumbing. You can absolutely make those homes beautiful, but a lot of buyers are looking at $1 to $2 million to buy, plus another $200,000 in updates just to get the kitchen and floor plan they actually want. In Morgan Hill, the math is different. A lot of the growth there over the last few decades has been newer master planned construction, bigger lots, wider streets, homes built in the 90s, 2000s, and even later. You see developments like Borello Ranch Estates. It's a Toll Brothers community, absolutely gorgeous. You see all-electric solar townhome communities like the Gates and Huntington. So when a buyer asks me if they can get a newer, move-in ready home without blowing past their budget, in Morgan Hill, the answer is often yes. Here's a real example. I was showing a buyer recently some homes in the Santa Teresa area. It was built in the early 1950s. And this home, it needed tons of upgrades. The floor plan was clunky, lots of rooms and separation, small galley-style kitchen, roof was falling apart, floors were old and dated and needed to be redone, small closets, small bathrooms, and it was only 1,800 square feet, and it was listed at $1.9 million. They decided to start looking a little bit more south, and seeing what they could get in Morgan Hill changed where they started to look. They saw a couple homes there that were over 2,500 square feet. Huge primary, luxurious primary bathroom, huge walk-in closets. All the amenities they'd been hoping for in a home in San Jose, they could get under their budget in Morgan Hill. A lot of buyers are tired of pouring money into 60, 70-year-old homes, and Morgan Hill gives them another option. Reason number 3, the commute math changed. This is the one that surprises people the most. For a long time, the only conversation about Morgan Hill was the commute. Great town, too far, commute kills it. End of discussion. Then hybrid work changed the math. Let me be straight with you. If you're driving from Morgan Hill to Apple Park in Cupertino, or to Mountain View, or to a job up the peninsula 5 days a week, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's a grind. On a bad day, you're looking at an hour plus each way. That's a real cost. But here's what's different now. A lot of my clients are only going into the office 2 or 3 days a week. At that point, the question becomes different. Are you willing to sit in the car a little longer 2 days a week in exchange for a newer house, bigger lot, and a different lifestyle? For a growing number of buyers, the answer is yes. You've also got options. Morgan Hill has a Caltrain station with service up the peninsula. Highway 101 goes straight north into San Jose and beyond. San Jose International Airport is only about 25 minutes away. SFO, about an hour, depending on traffic. In the last 6 months, I've had multiple buyers tell me the same story. Their company went hybrid. The commute excuse disappeared for them. And suddenly, Morgan Hill made a whole lot more sense. So is the commute perfect? No. But did the math change enough to put Morgan Hill on the table for people who would never have considered it even 10 years ago? Absolutely. Reason number 4, the lifestyle and amenities are different. San Jose has great pockets. Lincoln Avenue and Willow Glen, downtown Campbell, downtown Los Gatos, Santana Row. They're all destinations. You drive to them, you park, you leave. Morgan Hill has a concentrated downtown along Monterey Road. You can park once and walk to the restaurants like Ladera Grill, Trail Dust Barbecue, Giorgio's, Sushi Confidential. There are breweries, coffee shops, wine tasting rooms connected to the Santa Clara Valley Wine Trail, all within a few blocks. The downtown has real regular events. Friday night music series in the summer, Mushroom Mardi Gras, Taste of Morgan Hill, the 4th of July parade, classic car nights. Outside of downtown, you've got serious outdoor access. Henry Coe State Park is about 10 minutes away. It's one of the largest state parks in all of California. Anderson Lake, Uvis Reservoir, Coyote Lake, and Harvey Bear are all close by with miles of trails you can hike. Then there are the wineries, Sycamore Creek, Cordoval, Guglielmo, Solis. You're not planning a Napa trip. You're asking if you want to go out for a tasting this afternoon. This is the part that doesn't show up in your spreadsheet. It shows up in how you spend your weekends. Now, let me be honest about who Morgan Hill is not for. If you have to be in an office in Palo Alto or San Francisco 5 days a week, this probably isn't your move. The commute will eat you alive and you'll have zero life. If your kids are already enrolled in a San Jose school they're thriving in, that's a real factor to weigh. Switching school districts midstream isn't always worth the savings. And if you love being in the middle of a major city, Morgan Hill is going to feel smaller and quieter than what you're used to. This video is not me telling you to leave San Jose. It's me telling you what I'm seeing in the actual deals and people I'm talking to. Some buyers should stay. Some buyers should move. The math is different for everyone. And if you own a home in San Jose and you've been wondering whether a move south makes sense for your situation, here's what I suggest. Spend one Saturday in Morgan Hill before you make any decisions. Drive down, park downtown, explore downtown Morgan Hill, look at a few homes, then ask yourself whether you'd rather keep visiting this lifestyle or start living it. If you want to talk through whether the move makes sense for your specific situation, your commute, your timeline, and your numbers, I do free consultations. There's a link in the description, or you can just call or text me directly at 408-504-0385. Subscribe if you want more honest content about buying and selling in the South Bay. I'm Michael Rulfs with Coldwell Banker. See you guys on the next one.